The Whispering Willow's Secret. It was a warm summer night when little Mia tiptoed out of her cozy bed. The moon was full, and it peeked through her window, calling her into the garden. Mia couldn't resist the curiosity. There was something different about the night. Something magical. She wrapped herself in her favorite starry blanket, opened the back door, and stepped onto the cool grass. The garden, usually quiet and calm, seemed to hum softly, as if it had secrets of its own. In the very corner of the garden stood the old twisty willow tree, the one her grandmother had always called the Whispering Willow. Mia blinked, her eyes widening in amazement. Tonight, the willow's branches weren't swaying with the wind like usual. Instead, they seemed to be moving with purpose, curling and shifting to form a glowing doorway right in the middle of the tree. She stepped closer, her big eyes filled with wonder. The leaves rustled softly, whispering her name. Mia, Mia. Come see what's beyond. What do you think, Mia? Should she step through the magical doorway? Mia took a deep breath and stepped forward. As she crossed through the glowing doorway, she found herself in an entirely different world. The garden was still there, but it had changed. The flowers were glowing under the moonlight. The bushes were covered in shimmering cobwebs that looked like silver lace. And there was a soft laughter in the air. It was a garden of magic, the secret side of her very own backyard. A tiny creature darted past her feet. Mia gasped as a small golden fox with big sparkling eyes paused and looked up at her. The fox gave her a playful smile. "You're finally here," it said, its voice cheerful. "We need your help. The Whispering Willow has a secret treasure hidden, but only someone brave enough to listen to its whispers can find it." Mia's heart raced with excitement. A treasure hunt? She nodded eagerly. "I'll help! Where do we start?" The golden fox scampered forward, beckoning her to follow. They wandered past colourful flowers that glowed like tiny lanterns and mushrooms that giggled as they walked by. Every step felt like an adventure, the kind that made Mia's heart flutter with excitement. The fox led her to a circle of daisies that sparkled like stars. "Listen closely," whispered the fox. "These daisies know the secret path." Mia knelt down, leaning close to hear the softest whispers from the daisies. They murmured together, "Follow the light, follow the fireflies." As Mia stood up, a group of fireflies appeared, blinking gently. They hovered and moved ahead, lighting up a winding path through the garden. Mia followed them, her heart filled with wonder. Where could they be leading her? What do you think will be waiting at the end of the path? A treasure chest? A new friend? Maybe something magical that can't be seen? The fireflies led Mia through a glade filled with shimmering mist, where tall, colourful flowers swayed in the breeze, almost as if they were dancing to music only they could hear. As they walked, Mia noticed tiny winged creatures fluttering among the flowers. Fairies! They were no bigger than her hand, with delicate wings that shone like rainbow glass. They waved at her as she passed, giggling and whispering secrets to one another. The fox paused for a moment and looked back at Mia. "This place is full of wonders, Mia, but we must keep moving. The treasure awaits." Mia nodded, her eyes wide with amazement. She could hardly believe what she was seeing. They continued on, following the fireflies until they reached a grove of ancient trees. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches reaching up to the sky like giant, gnarled fingers. In the center of the grove was a large stone, covered in glowing symbols. The symbols seemed to pulse with a gentle light, as if they were alive. The golden fox approached the stone and motioned for Mia to come closer. "This is the guardian stone," the fox explained. "It protects the treasure. To unlock its secret, you must solve its riddle." Mia's heart skipped a beat. A riddle! She loved riddles and she was determined to solve this one. The symbols on the stone shifted and changed, forming words that glowed brightly. "I have no wings, but I can fly. I have no eyes, but I help you see." "What am I?" Mia thought for a moment, tapping her chin. She looked up at the fox, who gave her an encouraging nod. Then, with a smile, she said, "A cloud!" The symbols on the stone flashed brightly, and the ground beneath them began to rumble. Slowly, the stone split in two, revealing a hidden staircase that led deep underground. The fireflies gathered around Mia, lighting the way as she took her first step down the staircase. The golden fox followed closely behind. The staircase spiraled down, deeper and deeper, until they reached a vast underground chamber. The walls were covered in glowing vines, and at the center of the chamber was a beautiful crystal pedestal. On the pedestal sat a small, ornate box covered in intricate carvings of animals, plants, and stars. Mia approached the box, her heart pounding with anticipation. "Go ahead," the fox said softly. "Open it." Mia reached out and carefully lifted the lid of the box. Inside she found a shimmering silver key, unlike anything she had ever seen before. It seemed to hum with energy, and as she held it in her hand, she felt a warmth spread through her body. The key was beautiful, but what was it for? "This is the key to the Whispering Willow's heart," the fox explained. "With it, you can unlock the true magic of the garden. The magic that only someone with a kind heart and a brave spirit can wield." Mia looked at the key, her eyes filled with wonder. "What do I do with it?" she asked. The fox smiled. "You must take it back to the Whispering Willow. It will know what to do. But be careful, Mia. The journey back won't be as easy as the journey here. There will be challenges along the way, but I know you can handle them." Mia nodded, her determination growing. She was ready for whatever lay ahead. She carefully placed the key in her pocket and followed the fox back up the staircase. As they emerged from the underground chamber, the fireflies gathered around them once more, lighting their path. The journey back through the magical garden was not as simple as before. The once friendly flowers now seemed to watch her with cautious eyes, and the air was filled with a strange tension. The shimmering cobwebs that had looked so beautiful now seemed like obstacles, and the laughter that had filled the air was replaced by an eerie silence. Mia held the key tightly in her hand, her eyes scanning the garden for any sign of danger. Suddenly, a gust of wind blew through the trees, and the path ahead of her disappeared into darkness. The fireflies fluttered nervously, their light flickering. "Stay close, Mia," the fox said, its voice steady. "We must trust the fireflies to guide us." Mia took a deep breath and stepped forward, following the faint glow of the fireflies. The darkness seemed to press in around her, but she kept her eyes on the tiny lights, trusting them to lead her safely back to the willow tree. As they walked, Mia began to hear whispers, soft, gentle voices that seemed to be coming from the trees themselves. "Mia, Mia, trust in yourself." The whispers grew louder, and Mia felt a warmth in her chest. She knew that the garden was testing her, seeing if she was truly brave enough to carry the key. She closed her eyes for a moment, letting the warmth fill her, and when she opened them again, the darkness had begun to lift. The path reappeared before her, and the fireflies glowed brighter, leading her forward. Mia smiled, her heart filled with hope. She knew she could do this. Finally, they reached the whispering willow. The tree's branches were still curled, forming the glowing doorway that had brought her into the magical garden. Mia stepped forward, holding the silver key in her hand. The willow's branches seemed to reach out to her, gently wrapping around the key and lifting it from her hand. The key began to glow, and the entire tree seemed to come alive with light. The branches swayed, the leaves rustled, and a soft melodic hum filled the air. The tree's bark glowed with symbols, just like the guardian stone, and Mia watched in awe as the tree transformed before her eyes. The whispering willow's branches opened up, revealing a beautiful glowing heart at its center. The heart pulsed with light, and Mia felt a wave of warmth and love wash over her. The garden around her seemed to come alive once more, the flowers glowing brightly, the laughter returning to the air. The golden fox looked up at Mia, its eyes filled with pride. "You did it, Mia! You unlocked the true magic of the whispering willow. This garden will always be here for you, whenever you need it." Mia smiled, tears of joy in her eyes. She reached out and touched the glowing heart, feeling its warmth spread through her entire body. She knew that this was a night she would never forget. A night filled with magic, wonder, and the promise of many more adventures to come. The willow's branches slowly lowered, placing the silver key back in Mia's hand. The light began to fade, and Mia found herself back in her own garden, the willow tree standing silently in the moonlight. She looked down at the key, still glowing softly in her hand, and smiled. "Until next time," she whispered, before tiptoeing back to her room, where her adventure would become a favorite dream to remember. Did you like Mia's adventure? If you want to join her for more magical nights, make sure to come back soon. Who knows what other secrets the whispering willow holds?